What's up everyone, I'm Leo. Welcome to another video. I'm talking about real estate again. If you haven't been to the channel, I talk about real estate, so let's get into it. So today's video is going to be talking about migration patterns and where it's affordable to move. So I have about 8 places that I will be discussing throughout the video that you can go to. So what we're seeing is a lot of people who are coming out of metropolitan areas, about 38% more in April has migrated out. So we're looking at metropolitan areas like New York, Austin, these major cities. And where are they going? So there's 4 factors though that we need to talk about that influence people moving. You have demographics, which is the actual, what type of people are there, income, genders, nationality, stuff like that. A lot of New Yorkers move down to Florida because Palm Beach County, a lot of these counties down there, it's like the 6th borough. When people talk, hey, where are you going? I'm moving to Florida. So a lot of neighborhoods down there, it's like another extension of different states. So the same thing with California going to Vegas. A lot of people from California going to Phoenix. This is what happens. Even people going to Texas. So that's one thing. So demographics. Number 2 is interest rates. As interest rates fluctuate, people start making decisions. So if you're in a house that you're paying 3% interest rate, maybe you're not going to move. Maybe you will move. But if you sell your house for let's say $1 million, and you're gonna move to Florida and you buy a house for $500,000, you're gonna pocket $500. It might make sense for you to get a mortgage for 5% if you had a 3% mortgage, or you have hardly any mortgage here in the Northeast. So interest rates make a big factor. It does also influence a lot of younger people who want to get into the game, but people who generally migrate out are people who just want to leave these crazy cities that a lot of things have been happening throughout COVID. New York, down to Florida, the Carolinas, stuff like that. I know a lot of people who went to Carolinas. So these are things as well. Also, the economy, right? You look at GDP, which is gross domestic product. These things, they all factor in. Manufacturing activity, employment data, a lot of, goods, how much things cost, how much everyday expenses are. Things slow down. People tend to move to different areas that have a lower cost of living. Now, I'm not saying that Florida is a lower cost of living than New York. I mean, some parts are, but you're not paying ridiculous prices like you are in Brooklyn, New York, or Queens, or in the city. So that has a lot of effect on their decisions on moving as well. You also have a lot of something called government subsidies, if they give you tax incentives. I know New Jersey gives you tax incentives to buy electric vehicles. This is just an example. A lot of states give you exemptions. I know I was talking about in one of my TikTok videos that the state of New York gives you, I think, $15,000 for free if you want to buy a house. You're a first-time home buyer to move to New York, and then if you stay in the house for 10 years, they abolish the $15,000. You don't have to pay back, but you got to stay there. So there's a lot of different things in every state that you can do that'll benefit you, but these are just a couple of examples. So, and then the 8 places that are very popular right now to move to is number 1, Virginia Beach, Virginia. You're seeing average prices for homes at $315,000. You got San Antonio, Texas. That's another one. That's $330,000. I'm reading off a list because it's too long. You got Houston, Texas is another location. $340,000 is the median home price. Jacksonville, Florida is very hot. It's probably the cheapest area in Florida to move to, and a lot of people are moving there in droves for some reason. It's a small metropolitan area. It's up and coming. You can do some research on it. Bakersfield, California is still super cheap. It's hard to believe, but it is $365,000. Tampa, Florida is about $370,000. A friend of mine wanted to move to Tampa. He's also soared between $370,000 and $450,000. You can get a house. That's pretty cheap considering. You got Atlanta, Georgia is another one. $383,000 is the median home price. And then you got Cape Coral, Florida. You gotta love Florida. I mean, it's always coming in. That's $420,000 as well. So as you can see, the list that I have, it's relatively affordable, believe it or not, and a lot of people are moving there. So the thing with Florida, and I know I keep hearing about Florida, Virginia Beach is also really good. I mentioned Virginia. A lot of people want to live by the beach. They have this, they don't want to be cold anymore. They want to be in a mild temperature. I mean, I'm in Jersey. I want to get out. I've been here way too long. I've been in Brooklyn my whole life too, and I just want to go to a warmer climate. That's why I'm going to Florida in 2 years. I've been looking now, and me and my wife are looking for a house down there, and I think it's just time. Even though I own a lot of real estate up north, I'll just be able to jump in a plane for $100, fly back up here, and I'd get out. So again, it's a slow process. Don't forget, when people live in an area for so many years, it's hard to move your whole family down. I know some of you probably understand that. So again, Florida has a lot of things going for it. Dollar for dollar, you've got the beach. It's nice all the time, all year round, and these are the reason why a lot of these destinations, people love it. Some people don't like the beach. They all move to Texas. I mean, the Texas has the beach, but more south. But people go to like the cities like Austin and whatnot because they like, you know, the city vibe, which is kind of like California and like Texas merged together. More city-like, but it's not. It's kind of strange. But again, these are just examples of why people would move. So if you want to move somewhere, please mention it in the comments and leave me a message. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next video.